Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Mr. Ainsworth, and we're going to get into a lesson about how to rapidly multiply by 75. Okay, so let's go for it here, and let's talk method first. All right, now on this one here, what we're going to do is in order to multiply by 75, we have to understand one thing. So to do that, we have to understand that we want to multiply, all right, by 3/4, all right, and then by 100, okay? Then by 100. Why is that? Okay, the reason why is because when you take 3/4 times 100, you take 4 and 100, you get 25, and you take 3 times 25, you get 75. All right, so when you multiply by 75, one way you can do it is multiply by 3/4 first, then by 100. Believe it or not, that's easier, okay? So how do we handle that, okay? So in order to do that, when you multiply by 3/4, you first divide it by 4, the denominator, and then triple it, multiply by 3, and then multiply by 100. So in terms of our steps right here, okay? First step was we're going to divide by 4, make the number smaller a little bit, divide by 4. It's going to be easy if it's divisible by 4. All right, so divide by 4. Secondly, we're going to multiply by 3. All right, third step is we're going to multiply by 100. That's easy. You just shift the decimal twice to the right. Shift decimal. All right, two places right, two places to the right. You guys already know that. Okay, so there's the three steps right there. Fairly simple and straightforward. Let's give it a shot. And we'll keep that up on the top. All right, let's get right into an example here. So on this one here, let's take, I don't know, 28 times 75. You're going to look at the 28 now, okay? Going to take this one right here. So instead of multiplying it by 75, we're going to divide it by 4. So step one is we're going to take 28, oops. So 28 divided by 40 gets 7. Step 2, we're going to multiply by 3, so 7 times 3, 21. Step 3, we're going to take 21 times 100 to get 2100. So my answer is 2100. So if the number is divisible by 4, this is really easy and you could do in your head. Again, these right here, these are the mental steps, all right? Mentally, done mentally, that is. All right, so let's get some experience in here. Let's do a few more examples. But before we do, let's just check that result just for funsies right now. So we got 28, and then you got times 75. Look at that, 2100. All right, let's do it another time, okay? Let's take, I don't know, 32 times 75. All right, first step is you take 32 divided by 4 to get 8. Second step, you take 8, oops, not divided by, but times 3, because you got to multiply by the numerator of 3/4, and you get 24. And then step 3, you get 24 times 100, you get 2400. So this answer is 2400. And let's check it. So you take 32, all right, times 75. Boom. Right there, 2400. And that's all there is to it, guys. If uh, if it's not divisible by 4, well, then it's a little bit more challenging, right? All right. But in the beginning, we'll keep it that way, okay? And then if you have different versions of 75, or if there's decimals involved, well, then you have to shift the decimal. So let's take a look at that as well. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's suppose you have 2.4 times 75. Okay, so you ignore the decimal first. So the very first thing I do is I take 24 and I divide it by 4 first. Okay, I get 6. Step 2, I take it and multiply by 3 to get 18. All right, step 3, I multiply by 100 to get 1800. So that's my intermediate result. All right, but that's not the case. That's really not the result because I have one digit to the right of the decimal, so I have to do a little adjustment here. All right, and it's actually 180. All right, and then of course what you want to do is check it. So you're going to take 2.4 times 75, and you check it, and you get 180. All right, sorry about the interruption. Let's continue here. So even if you have decimals involved, all right, whether it's the decimals are in 75 or the other number, you'd still just do the three-step procedure and then adjust decimal at the end. All right, so let's get some more experience. So let's suppose that you have 56 times 7.5. Okay, you're going to take the number 56, all right, divided by 4 first. All right, and hopefully you know that's 14. All right, 4 times 14 is 56. Step 2, you got to take 14 times 3. And that's a 2 by 1. You can handle that too. And you get, believe it or not, you get 40, oops, not 50. You get 42. Step 3, you multiply by 100. So 42 times 100. Again, this stuff is just done in your head. And you get 4200, right? And that's your intermediate result. All right? But you got to check. Ooh, there's one digit to the right of the decimal. So you do your adjustment. And so the answer should be 420. All right, and then you check it. 56 times 7.5, 420. Like I just said, okay? It works really well all the time, even if you see zeros involved too. Something like this. Let's say you're taking 140, all right? Not 140. Let's do 160, let's say. 160 times 75, all right? So you ignore the zero temporarily. So step 1, you take 60. Actually, you can take 160. Let's not ignore the zero. Take 160 divided by 4, you get 40. Step 2, you got to multiply by 3, and you get 120. And then you multiply it by 100, so 120 times 100. All right, and you get 12,000. It should be a big number. I mean, think about it. 160 times 75. That's got to be kind of big. All right. Of course, then you check it, right? So you take 160. If my calculator will allow it. So 160. Okay, so it looks like my computer's freezing up on me here. You check it on your own here. Let's see if I can make this happen. Oh, there we go. So 160, all right, times, and then the 75, boom, right there, and you get 12,000. See? So it's not that bad. It doesn't matter where the decimals are. So, or the zero, how many zeros are involved. You just go with the flow. Okay. One last example. All right. Let's suppose you have I don't know, 0.28 times 7.5, something like that. Okay, very first thing you're going to do is take 28 divided by 4 to get 7. You're going to ignore the decimals, and then you take 7 times 3. So 7 times 3 to get 21, and then you multiply it by 100. So 21 times 100 to get 2100, and then you adjust the decimal. So there's your intermediate result. You have 1, 2, 3 digits to the right of the decimal. So you should get 2.1. All right, then you check it. So let's check it. So 0.28, all right, times 7.5. Look at that, 2.1. And that's all there is to it, guys. All right. Let's see here. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, there's one more example that I need to cover here. So let's suppose you have this case where you have 30 times 75. Okay, now 30 is not divisible by 4, so but you still do the same thing. So you're going to take 30 divided by 4. 4 into 30 divide 7 times, remainder 2, so that's 2/4 or 1/2. So 7.5. Step 2, you're going to multiply that by 3, so 7.5 times 3. So here you take 3 times 7, that's 21. Actually 70, let's go 210. So 3 times 70 is 210. 3 times 5 is 15. 210 and 15 is 225. So 225, and then you adjust the decimal. All right. There's one digit to the right, so you adjust the decimal there. And then step 3, you take that and you multiply 22.5 times 100. which is two places to the right. So my inner, well, that is my result, 2250. So 2,250. And then you check it. Okay, so 30, all right, times 75. Boom, right there, 2250. All right, so even if the numbers are not divisible by 4, you still do the same thing, guys. And hopefully you can do that part in your head. I mean, 30 divided by 4, not too hard. Okay, so give it your best shot, and I'll see you in my next lesson. This is Ainsworth signing off. Bye-bye.